oversaturating our palates to this point where we're numb, we're desensitized. So really, this I really feel is ever present everywhere. This is something that delayed gratification versus instant gratification. This is something that I feel is an entire rabbit hole that we can really deeply begin to discern. And in relation to, say, things like, yes, social media, things like television, things like video games, very naturally, any sort of thing that is delivering these quick bursts of dopamine, when we don't really begin to actually understand what this is rewiring within our minds. When we say, look at things like television, when we begin to overwhelm our senses and our palates with all these different narratives, we are living in this fictitious, romanticized narrative that is so far removed from our own. We are fundamentally rewiring our mind from actually giving this same level of romanticization and emphasis on our own lives, on our own dialogues, on our own narratives, on our own stories that we are paving. In the same context, when we look at the damage that we are dealing when we are participating within things like video games, we are looking at this sort of means that we are delivering all these short bursts of dopamine, of fragmented attention, are very means that we, say we're participating within a game. You're in a game, and you are a soldier, something like Call of Duty, right? You have your weapon, you're going throughout the world, and you're in combat with various other peoples. The simulating of combat. You're simulating being a warrior at the heart of it. You're simulating this battle essence, this warrior archetype. Does this fundamentally at all even closely resemble what it really means to be a warrior? What it really means to be even a soldier? To be one in combat? To be combative? This doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of what this really means to enter the essence, the warrior archetype, to understand what it means to truly embrace and conquer fear and discomfort. It's this constant contradiction. Here you are sitting within the deepest simulation of, the expression of comfort, simulation of discomfort. You're sitting within this means where you're sitting behind your television screen, playing a game. You are nullifying any sort of true connection between what this actual discomfort is that is being experienced is. These are very real things. As human beings, we experience real means of combat, of survival, of warfare. This is real. We experience this in so many different dimensions. It could be on a spiritual level, on a psychological level, on an emotional level, on a philosophical level, and yes, also on a physical plane.
I said,
these are very real things.
Here am I.
The degree that we are desensitizing ourselves by
Send me.
mindlessly participating within these substitutions of a much grander depiction of what these things actually are. We are rewiring our mind in such a way where we are not fundamentally seeing what these things at the essence really are. When we are sitting here mindlessly absorbing some sort of combative, atmosphere in a video game, endlessly, do you think this even resembles a fragment of the depth of what this actual experience, in truth, of what the depiction of this creation of this experience really is? And just something to ask yourself. And certainly, yes, there's something to be said about this expression of art. These stories that they're telling, these intricate fantasies that they are painting. They are beautiful in nature. They strike awe and inspiration. These are things that I really feel serve a tremendous purpose within humanity. It's simply their expression of art. They are truly, at the deepest, most exquisite way, a profound expression of the human experience. This is true. The same exact thing can be said about cinema, Hollywood, all these beautiful depictions of the human experience in such an artistic way. Yes. But is this truly the way this was meant to be received? Was this really meant to be getting to this extreme where we become desensitized, where we are excessively absorbing this dimension of cinema, these stories, these narratives, where we're bombarding our senses? We get to a point where we're desensitized from the very core things that these things are trying to evoke and elicit within ourselves, right? This is really important to understand. And this is what I've really been seeing when I've been able to strip away, all video games and all television narratives for a period of time and to reintroduce them. It's very simple. We as a society, many of us have normalized the means to desensitize these beautiful expressions of art that is in Hollywood, that is in cinema. We don't fucking appreciate the beauty, the artistry that is in front of us. Why? Because we are excessively absorbing this. We are oversaturating our palates to this point where we're numb. We're desensitized. We don't fucking see the truest and grandest core expression of why these things were created in the first place, right? So something to consider, something to really understand more intimately. What degree have we completely become fully desensitized to what these things were really there to evoke?